For all those of you disappointed with the third episode of season 8 of Game of Thrones, here's a better episode for you. Now, a lot of the stuff was okay, but many of the characters were not utilized well. So, here's my fix for Game of Thrones episode 3, season 8, episode 3. Now, Tyrion being in the crypt was fine. Them talking Tyrion into going to the crypt was fine. But at some point, like when he was talking to Sansa that he should be useful in the battle, he should have got out of the crypt. And somehow, Danny, he finds Danny, he gets on a dragon, and she flies him to the hill where she and John were standing, observing the battle to begin with in the first place. And there he can observe how the fight is going and come up with ideas of what should happen. Then he sees that the Night King is holding his lieutenants behind his dead men, and they are not basically doing anything. They are just waiting for the dead men to do as much damage as they can. So he tells Danny to go get all the A-list fighters with their Valerian skills and whatnot. That's Brienne, Jamie, Beric Dondarrion, uh, the Hound, all even Arya herself, all the A-list fighters. They, they get on Danny's dragon armed with Valerian skill and whatnot. She flies them and dumps them right in front of the White Walkers, and they begin to battle them. And you very well know as each White Walker falls, the dead men on the field begin to reduce heavily, and so that would have been turning the tide of the fight little by little. Sacrificing the Dothraki at the beginning of the fight just like that was stupid, pointless, and ill-advised. The Dothrakis and the Unsullied and the Rain Northmen would have been the main people battling the dead men. As the White Walkers fall, the fight gets better. The Dothrakis, the Unsullied, they're all killing dead men and killing dead men. And you have a good fight going on. Um, Bran in the God's Wood was nice. I like that whole idea. And Theon protecting him, all that was good. Theon's death, nothing to say about that. It could have been, it could have not been, but let's leave that alone. Now, Bran should have walked into a dragon. He should have so walked into a dragon, and here's how that happens. So during the fight, as you know, the old dragon. First of all, the dragons were ill used. The old smoky, shadowy thing, not good at all. Anyway, so where the fight is going on, at some point, when especially when John and the Night King were fighting with their dragons in the air, when the Night King falls off, also John falls off his dragon, and his dragon is actually hurt. The Night King's undead Viserion actually hurts Rhaegar. So Rhaegar is incapacitated. John has fallen off his dragon. The Night King has fallen off his dragon. Daenerys tries to burn the Night King. It doesn't work, and so on. Then John and the Night King start battling, like a very heavy battle, something worthwhile. The battle, and all this while, as you know, Bran went out into the battle through the birds and stuff, the ravens. So he's observing the battle also. He sees that um, Rhaegar is incapacitated, and Rhaegar has to help and destroy dead men and so forth. So Bran walks into Rhaegar, and he's all normally when he's walking, his eyes are white and stuff. His eyes go black even self to show the gravity of what he has to do. His whole eyes go from white to black and even crack or crease, whatever. And he walks into Rhaegar, and Rhaegar starts fighting again and destroying dead men and whatnot. Then Arya killing Night King, that's quite alright. So John and Night King are fighting and fighting and fighting, and the Night King is almost defeating John. Then that's when Arya runs in for the kill. That would have been good. Then Samuel Tally was so ill used. When back in episode 2, when Ed and John were talking to Sam about him not fighting, they should have convinced him to go to the crypt and protect the people in the crypt. And then when the Night King grows the dead men in the crypts, it should have been and Samuel was talked into going to the crypt. So he goes to the crypt, and when the dead men are raising the crypt, it's going to be him. Heck, maybe even Sansa also kills some of the dead men. That little girl who wanted to fight, some people in the crypt, and they actually rise up and kill all the dead that rise in the crypt. Then here's the kicker: the Night King is not defeated in episode 3. I mean, it's like Thanos. He has been built so much and hyped and everything. You can't just kill him now. He should be the main antagonist of this show. So the Night King, when he all right. I said I accused the Night King. Okay, if they wanted to kill the Night King, I think the Night King would have been fine. But I don't think he dies. So basically, his army gets defeated. His whites are dead. Many of the dead men are dead, and him, as a last resort, gets back on his dragon, the undead Viserion, and flies away out of Winterfell into the south. And he now goes into the south and raises all the dead in the kingdom. I'm talking from King's Landing, the everywhere around Westeros. He raises a lot of dead, another army, a greater army even. And he and Cersei's new army has to fight his army. That's going to be the next big battle in episode 5. And during Cersei's fight, Jon and the rest of the Northerners or whatever also make their way down south and help out. And somehow, they all defeat the Night King together. Then Cersei is going to lose, obviously. So by when the Night King is dealt with by everybody, then however the show writers are planning to deal with Cersei and whatever, they can then do that. Then Bran also at the end of season 3, episode 3, Bran doesn't recover from walking into Rhaegar. His eyes remain blackened and stuff, and by the end of the episode, he's just sitting there with the black eyes, and everybody's worried about him. I'm sure I can think of pretty much a lot of other things, but for now, these are my immediate thoughts and how I think it would have been so much worthwhile if it had happened on some level of what I just spoken about. Share your thoughts and feel free to ridicule me if you want. Thank you.